Hey guys, just going to talk to you today a bit about sleep. So when it comes to health, diet and exercise often take center stage and we forget about sleep. Most of us do know the importance of sleep, yet we still struggle to fall asleep or stay asleep, toss and turn all night, or you get 8 hours sleep and you wake up still feeling like a zombie. So all this healthy eating and exercise can go to waste if you're not getting a good night's sleep and allowing your body to recover and repair. So today we're just going to talk about some reasons why you might not be getting a good night's sleep and some strategies that you can implement to help this. So first we're going to talk about light, hopefully without getting too scientific. Basically, there are different types of light and they each affect your body and your brain differently. So firstly, sunlight. So sunlight and sleep are like yin and yang. So getting adequate exposure to sunlight during the day can actually help you sleep better at night. On the other hand, blue light can inhibit a good night's sleep. So this involves the light from laptops, TVs, iPhones, even most light bulbs. So this is why you're often less energetic in winter because your ability to get sunlight in is decreased. So one, there's obviously less daylight, and two, often more rugged up. So our skin isn't getting exposed to this sunlight and allowing it to penetrate into our cells. So our body follows a rhythm, a 24-hour cycle called circadian rhythm. And this is based off light and darkness. And this is why it's often common to feel less energetic in winter. Because of that decrease in light, your body actually increases your sleep hormone earlier in the afternoon. So sunlight can stimulate melatonin, which is your sleep hormone, and blue light can inhibit it. So this melatonin has a big impact on your quality of sleep, on both what's called rapid eye movement sleep and slow wave sleep, which is your deep restorative sleep. So watching TV, being on your laptop, playing on your iPhone at night is actually decreasing the release of this hormone melatonin, which helps you fall into a deep sleep. So you're still going to fall asleep, but what you don't realize is you're not falling into that deep sleep where your body rejuvenates and repairs. So throughout the night, different things are happening. So between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. is when all the physical repair is happening. So your body's enhancing your immune system, there's physical repair to your tissues, your bones, your muscles, and your body recovers from any illness that you may have. If you've exercised, this is when sleep is most vital to allow your body to actually make adaptations to the stress that you put on it. So if you're spending considerable hours in the gym each week, but you're getting poor sleep or you're going to bed much later than 10 p.m. each night, then you're not going to get the benefits out of exercise because your body is not getting that time to physically repair itself. And then between 2 a.m. about 5 a.m. is when you're psychologically repairing. So your body's working on all the ideas and memories, the connections, the conversations that you've had for that day, and it's refreshing your mind. So this is often why you have those weird dreams just before you wake up. So nowadays we spend much more time staring at our iPhone whilst laying in bed just before we fall asleep, or watching Netflix all night, or studying and working on our laptops at home. So not only does this mean we're going to bed later than 10 p.m. and losing that time for our body to physically repair, but we're inhibiting melatonin from that blue light and essentially stopping ourselves from going into that restorative deep sleep. Okay, so if you do get sick or you've had a big week of training or a hectic week at work, then you may need to get a bit more sleep and make sure you're in bed by 10 p.m. each night so that your body can fully recover. And there's nothing wrong with it. So sleep and napping is often seen as weakness or laziness, but there's going to be times in our life, weeks in our life, where we're going to need more sleep. And it's important to understand that. So sleep also affects our hunger signals, so your hunger hormones. So there's two hormones. So leptin is what inhibits your appetite. So it tells your body whether you're hungry or you're full, you've had enough, when to stop eating, and it also guides whether food is stored for fat or used for energy. On the other hand, ghrelin, think of like grumbling stomach, increases before meals and it decreases after when you're full. So higher levels of ghrelin increase your appetite, so they increase your food intake, and they also increase fat mass. So if someone isn't getting adequate sleep, there's often decreased levels of leptin and increased levels of ghrelin, meaning you're naturally going to eat more. You've got a poor indicator of when you're actually full, and more food is going to be stored as fat. And this is why days when you feel really tired or less energetic, you often eat a lot more and you crave a lot more foods. And what you don't realize is that's often a lot of the time from these hormones, from a poor quality of sleep. So we all have busy schedules, we have events on, children that keep us up occasionally late at night. So sometimes it's impossible to always go to bed at an early time and get an adequate amount of sleep. Okay? And undoubtedly, there are people who get 5 hours of sleep at night and they can run like the Energizer Bunny, or people that have an espresso at night time and can still fall asleep. But I'm just going to go through some suggestions and just take into account when I'm providing these to you, these sorts of things. So some things are going to work for some people, some things aren't going to work. Okay, so if you are getting to bed, say at 12 p.m. at the moment, getting into bed by 10 p.m. might seem a bit drastic. So what you can do is just gradually move your bedtime 30 minutes earlier in the first week, and then in your second week, maybe another 30 minutes earlier. Or if you know you've got a really busy week and you know your schedule, maybe just choosing 3 nights that week to try and get in bed by 10 p.m. So just remember that most of your physical repair happens between 10 p.m. and 2 a.m. So the more consistently you can get in bed by 10 p.m., the better it's going to be for your health. Another suggestion is sleeping in complete darkness. So like I said before, light inhibits that sleep hormone that helps you get into a deep sleep. So try and make sure your blinds are completely shut, your doors are closed so that no sort of hallway light can seep in. Turn off all electronics at the power point so the power lights aren't sort of shining at you. And if you've got like an alarm clock as well that's quite bright, even turning that off too. Another thing is minimizing your exposure to bright lights in the evening. So when you know it's sort of a few hours before bed, just sort of dimming the lights in your bedroom or in the kitchen, in the lounge room. So having them dimmed can help your body start to release more melatonin because that light's not as bright. The other thing is avoiding that blue light, which once again inhibits that sleep hormone. So avoiding watching TV, playing on your iPhone, or working on your laptop just before sleep. So obviously some of you may need to be working on your laptop at night time. There is an app called Flux, which works off the hours of the day, and it can adjust the light on your laptop to take away some of that blue light. Avoiding caffeine. So caffeine has a long half-life in the body, and whilst you may not notice it having its effect on you, it can still stop you from going into a deep sleep. So if you can, avoiding caffeine after lunchtime. If you do tend to have a lot of coffee in the afternoon or the night, maybe try swapping it out for a tea, like a herbal tea, peppermint tea, green tea, something like that that doesn't have as much caffeine or any caffeine in it. The other thing you may not realize is making sure you're eating enough food. So when you sleep, there's a lot of energy being used. Although you're laying down and you don't feel like you're doing anything, this physical repair, this psychological repair takes a lot of energy. And if your body doesn't have that energy, your sleep can be disturbed. Okay, so eating good, nutritious food consistently and throughout the day can actually help you sleep better because your body's got that fuel to help it repair and recover, and all the processes it needs to use overnight. So remember, we're not talking diets or restricting yourself here. We're just talking eating well majority of the time, okay? So another thing is where your calories are coming from. So if you're having a really high GI dinner, so like white potatoes, white pasta, white rice, or you're having snacks late at night, like ice cream, chocolate, biscuit, those things that are high GI, and they're going to keep your blood sugar high, and they're going to prevent you from falling asleep. So try and replace your white stuff at dinner with sort of brown rice, quinoa, wholemeal pasta, sweet potato, those things that are low GI. And obviously avoiding those sugary snacks right before bed. So maybe having a cup of tea instead, or brushing your teeth straight after dinner. Also your structure of eating. So if you're super busy, you're skipping breakfast, you're in meetings all day, so you're not eating, and then you come home and you eat the whole pantry pretty much, you're probably going to go to sleep with quite a heavy stomach, and you might find it difficult to fall asleep. So if that's the case, if you know you're going to be really busy throughout the day, maybe just taking a lot of small snacks that can just be eaten within 5 minutes, just so that you're not coming home and having a huge meal at night and then trying to go to bed on a full stomach. The last thing is getting some sunlight during the day. So like I said before, your exposure to sunlight during the day can help you sleep better at night. So try getting outside during your lunch break and sitting in the sun, or even in the mornings if you've got time, have breakfast outside, get some sunlight in. So yeah, obviously some of these strategies are going to work for some of you. So try and think about why it is that you might not be getting a good night's sleep, and try and think of a behaviour that you can implement that's going to help this. Just remember, habits take time to build. So if you do choose something, try and work on it over the next sort of couple of weeks and let it become habit. Okay, it's not going to happen overnight.